Welcome to this week's edition of the Weightlifting Platform, where the bar weighs 15, maybe 20 kilograms, but there's a tolerance of up to 0.1% more or 0.05% less. The Weightlifting Platform is brought to you by the Panamerican Weightlifting Federation. I'm your host, Richard Mason. On this week's show, we'll sit down with the newly crowned European champ in the super category, Emily Campbell of Great Britain. For our tip of the week, we'll take a look at the snatch of Faris Elbach. And our regular feature, Good to Know, we'll go over the dimensions of the Olympic barbell. But first, here are the headlines. Japan's former Minister of Sport is calling for a decision on whether fans can be allowed to watch at this summer's Tokyo Olympics. Hakuban Shimomura is now the chair of the Liberal Democratic Party's Policy Research Council. He says a decision should be made at the start of June if spectators should be allowed to watch the action live at the Tokyo International Forum and at other Olympic venues. Current restrictions in Japan allow 50% capacity for sporting events. All overseas ticket holders have been barred from watching to keep Japan as safe as possible from COVID transmission during the Games. The South American, Ibero-American, and the Tokyo 2020 qualifying open has come to a close in Colombia, with athletes a few steps closer to finishing their final chances for the Olympics. In the women's categories, Ecuador dominated in the plus 87, 87, 76, and 64 kilo categories. Total winners include Liseth Ayovi, Tamara Salazar, Nesi de Homes, and Angie Palacios. Other category winners included Colombia's Manuela Barrio in the 49s, Ana Lopez of Mexico in the 55s, Mexico's Janeth Gomez in the 64s, Swede Patricia Strenius in the 71s, Valeria Rivas of Colombia in the 81s. One athlete totaled in the non-Olympic 45 total, with Alejandra Alvarez of Colombia getting the gold. Over on the men's side, Japan flew all the way home from Cali with a gold rush. Team Japan dominated with 6 golds, 3 silver medals. In the 61s, it was Arly Calderon of Cuba edging out snatch winner Josue Brachi of Spain for the total gold. In the 67s, it was all Luis Mosquera of Colombia. He went 6 for 6 for the day. Julio Mayora of Venezuela declined his final 2 clean and jerks after edging Max Lang of Germany for the total gold in the 73s. Arly Mendez of Chile took top podium spot in the 81s. In the 89s, Cuba's Ofides Saez was the 3rd spot after the snatch, but he put a 193 up in the clean and jerk, and that vaulted him to total gold. In the 96, Kedomar Vaiania of Venezuela was ahead of Iran's Sohrab Moradi after the snatch, but Moradi did not put up a number in the clean and jerk. That was gold for Vaiania. One athlete was entered in the 102s, but did not complete a snatch nor a clean and jerk, and then Japan went to work. Ryanosuke Moshida won the 109s, and Eiichiro Murakami took the plus session. As we record this, the African Weightlifting Championships is scheduled for Nairobi, Kenya, starting on the 24th of May. A day earlier, the World Juniors begins in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, and on the 23rd. And we can't forget about the Masters. The World Masters Weightlifting Championship is being held online, and we wish the best of luck to all the participants. Those are today's headlines. It's in your hands almost every day, but what do you really know about a weightlifting bar? Well, according to the rulebook, the men's bar must weigh 20 kilos. Kind of. There's an allowance of 0.1% more to 0.05% less. It must be 2.2 meters long with 2 knurling sections on each side from the inside of the sleeves, 195 centimeters, with a 5 centimeter break before 245 centimeters of knurling. There's also a 120 centimeter knurling right at the center, and it must have blue markings denoting it as a men's bar, and most importantly, must rotate freely. That's good to know. Now time to talk. If you would have asked Emily Campbell of Great Britain a few weeks ago what her biggest accomplishment in weightlifting was, she probably would have told you all about the bronze medal that she won at the Commonwealth Games in the Gold Coast in 2018. But now she has a different kind of gold in her life as the newly medaled European champion in the plus 87 kilo category. Emily, welcome to the weightlifting platform.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Now, tell me, let's start with your origin story. How did you first get started in weightlifting?
So I was into athletics, as you Americans will call it, track and field, and I essentially just wanted to get stronger for throwing the shot and the hammer. Started doing a little bit of weightlifting, and then completely fell in love with it and switched to being a full-time weightlifter.
How long did it take for you to realize that this was the sport for you?
I think after my first competition, so I trained for around probably 2 months, and then did my first qualification for a national championships. And yeah, as soon as I competed, I just there was no feeling like it, and I knew that this was definitely the sport for me.
Now, was your first competition what you expected? Did you know what you were getting into when you went in?
No, no, definitely not. I don't think you could prepare for a weightlifting competition. And I just kind of went with an open mind and just went there and was like, I'm just gonna have some good fun and do what I've been doing in training. And yeah, I just really, really loved it and just wanted to keep doing it and getting better.
Now, according to what I could find, research in the IWF database, the first international meet that shows up for you is the Commonwealth Champs in the Gold Coast. That was the test event for the Commonwealth Games. You placed fourth. Did you know what to expect from the other athletes? Did you know what to expect from an international meet?
No, definitely not. I just knew that I had one goal in mind, and that was to qualify for the Commonwealth Games. And they kind of said to me, "This is your last opportunity. This is your last qualification comp. If you really want to go to the games, you have to prove yourself here." So it was. I didn't know who was going to be there, what kind of competition I had. I was just kind of focused on myself, and I knew the number that I needed to hit to be able to go to the Commonwealth Games. And luckily that I did that number, and it was a really great experience for me, and it just fueled me to want to go to even more international meets.
Well, a year later, you found yourself in the Gold Coast once again for the Commonwealth Games. Congratulations. Now, you placed
Thank
third
you.
behind two very strong women from Oceania. You were just 1 kilo off silver. Now, let's get into your mindset. In the immediate aftermath, are you one of these people that goes, woohoo, I got bronze? Are you going, darn, I almost got silver? Or is it, whatever, back to work, let's go to Birmingham?
Yeah, a bit of all three, if I'm honest. I was obviously elated that I got bronze because I was, 18 months into the sport. So to go to a Commonwealth Games and medal is, obviously amazing. But then, yeah, the back of my mind was going, damn, I was 1 kilo off getting a silver. But then, yeah, it only fueled me more to come back and go, right, Birmingham, I have to make it happen. And I'd really, really love to win gold in front of a home crowd this time.
Now, Britain seems to have a group of up and coming female athletes. Do you guys feel like a team? Can you feed off that? As a plus, you get to lift last, so you get to see all the other athletes do what they have to do. Are you the kind of athlete that feeds off the success of friends and teammates?
Yes, 100%. I mean, it's very obviously, it's actually really nerve wracking watching other people because you have no control over what they do and you just want them to do so well. But watching them, it almost fuels the fire for me a little bit. And then by the time I get out there, I'm 110% ready to impress. And especially at the Europeans, the girls set the pace so high that I knew that I had to go out there and perform, to keep the energy up and show that, us GB girls didn't come to just participate. We came to put some real totals up.
Now, with the success of the GB women, is there any opportunity for you guys to, I don't know, kind of try and pass it on and kind of bring the men in as well so that they can share in your success and maybe, build themselves up as well?
Yeah, we're hoping so. We've got some good up and coming men that are coming in the junior ranks, and I think the senior boys have obviously watched us now and seen that we can make it possible. So we're hoping that we can motivate them to push on and be as a standard as we are, and showing them that it's achievable.
Now, based on what I've seen, you've traveled the world: Pattaya, Moscow, Batumi, Ashgabat, even a stop in China. As a young person, were you a big traveler, or is this something that you also have to get used to as a competing athlete?
Yeah, I think I was very lucky. My parents always took us on very nice holidays around the globe, and we was very used to going to different places and trying new foods and experiencing new culture, which is great. And but then it's obviously it's beautiful to do that on your own in your own setting and capacity. So to be able to do that, I'm actually, as we speak to you right now, I'm actually in Salt Lake City in Utah training out with the US team. So I'm very, very blessed to be able to see different parts of the world and experience that.
It's funny because a couple of weeks ago we interviewed Piros Demas, and I swear I think I recognize that hotel room. Anyway, what are your odds for Tokyo? What are your odds that you're going to be there on the platform of the Tokyo International Forum?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's looking very strong, and I'm hoping obviously we as a GB we don't get an official announcement till the 25th of June, so we can't say yay or nay yet. But it does look very positive for me, and I have definitely got my head down and eyes on the prize, ready for when we get out there to Tokyo.
Fantastic. Have you been to Japan yet?
No, it'll be my first time, and obviously I've heard of great things about Japan, so I'm really looking forward to going out there and seeing the country.
Wonderful. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Stick around. Thank you for taking the time. We were going to put you on a 1 minute clock in just a few seconds because you're going to go on the clock next. Now, we've got a 1 minute clock ready. We're going to ask you questions to get to know you better, not just weightlifting, some about your life, some about weightlifting, all of them hopefully fun. And let's go in 3, 2, 1. Who's the best British weightlifter that isn't you?
Emily Musket / Godley.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
Hair hostess, cabin crew.
And what do you want to be growing up now?
I'd love to be a weightlifting coach that brings weightlifting to youth and underprivileged children.
Awesome. Best weightlifting shoes?
The Adidas old school 1980s suede blues.
If you could have lunch with anyone from all time, who would it be?
Oh, Oprah Winfrey.
Prince Harry or Prince William?
Prince Harry.
Least favorite subject in school?
Religious studies.
And favorite place I visited because of sport?
Australia.
Wonderful. We very much appreciate you taking the time. Just a small correction, by the way, I'm Canadian. I'm not American.
So sorry. Oh, burn.
Oh, that's why I saw you at the Commonwealth Games. Thanks very much for taking the time.
Thank you so
Now
much
it's
for
time
having me.
for our tip
Take
of the
care.
His nickname is Meso, which I'm told roughly translates as the smiley one. With our tip of the week, Faris Elbak, better known as Meso Hasuna of Qatar, will show us the snatch.
Hello, what's up everybody? How you doing? I hope you're all doing great and having a lovely time wherever you are in the world. Here is Mr. Hasuna with you from the Qatar Weightlifting team, and today I'll be with you at the tip of the week. Let's do it. The tip of today is going to be on the snatch. Snatch requires a lot of technical stuff, mobility and explosion speed. Tip number 1, your position on the bar. Keep the bar close to your body, your knees slightly facing out, not straight forward, your back straight and tight, and your shoulder over the bar. Second, and one of the most important, your arms always straight. Do not bend your elbows ever before the second ball, or as we say, the explosion point. This is one of the most common mistakes, which stops you from finishing the second ball and of course from reaching a higher level. Third, the position of the bar over your head, just right in the middle, not too far, not too forward, your arms straight and tight all the way until you stand up. At the end guys, those were some quick tips on the snatches. Here's one more video from our training hall, and I wish you all a wonderful, lovely day.
Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of the Weightlifting Platform, brought to you by the Pan American Weightlifting Federation. If you like what you see, bookmark us here on YouTube. You can also like the IWF on Facebook. You can tweet to the IWF at IWFNET on Twitter. I'm Richard Mason. Good lifting.